Hi, my name is Millie Canela. I'm a registered dietitian, and I wanted everyone to see what a fun day we had celebrating the February Harvest of the Month vegetable butternut squash at the Winter Squash Extravaganza. But first, let's meet the garden club who helped host this event and see why they love gardening. This is Kelly Cronin, the garden club teacher. She helped organize and have all of these garden beds built so that the garden club could have plenty of room to grow different fruits and vegetables. These two are Andy and Sophia. They are both in the garden club and they were our hosts during this whole February squash extravaganza. They did interviews, they showed off different types of squashes, and they tried our amazing recipe.
What is your favorite thing to grow in the school garden?
In November, we planted garlic.
I really liked growing potatoes last year, and those were really yummy, and I really liked having the fresh raspberries.
Is there anything else you really like about being in garden club or working in the school garden?
It's about teamwork.
I really like it because we all get to work in the garden, and I don't really have space to have a garden at my house. So it's kind of like if I don't have space to have a garden in my house, but I want to have a garden, I just joined the garden club. So now it's like a garden that everyone can use.
It's a nice space out there, right?
Harvest of the Month is a way for us to show off a food that's grown right nearby during this time of year. February's vegetable was butternut squash, so what did we decide to make? This is our brown rice with butternut squash and cranberries. But that's not all that was in this delicious recipe. There were also peas, onions, peppers, and all these seasonings that made it taste really good. As the students entered the cafeteria, they all got to see and touch the different squashes we had on display. There was kabocha squash, acorn, patty pan, spaghetti, and of course, the star of the day, butternut squash. We had different sizes, shapes, and colors, but they all had a hard outer skin and seeds when you opened them up. A special thank you to our parent volunteers who helped hand out all of our samples, Lauren Fitzgerald, Allyson Sideridis, Lori Frayler, and Marcela Assouad. Now let's get to the interviews where our hosts find out how to grow squash, more about the recipe, why it's healthy, and what students thought of it.
What does our school do to be part of Farm to School?
Well, the school has we have our own garden, and here at our school, the children work really hard in the garden, and they grow lots of plants that are also food and vegetables, and sometimes some of those vegetables, like kale and lettuces, come down here and they go to the kitchen and we cook up that food or we put it in a salad, and then the kids here at school get to eat the food that we grow right here in our very own garden.
How do you get the food you get?
So we start most of the plants in the greenhouse. We grow them up to a certain stage and then we plant them outside and they grow all summer. The winter squash takes 3 months and we harvest it in September.
The vegetable of the month is squash, so we wanted to highlight the squash, and we also wanted a nutritious and delicious recipe for kids to try.
My favorite way to eat winter squash is probably roasted, because when you roast them in the oven, they get really sweet and flavorful, really tasty.
What's the safe way to cut open a winter squash?
You have to be careful because they're hard, and you need to make sure your knife is sharp and big enough.
Why is squash good for your body?
So I think of all fruits and vegetables as like little treasures because you get, you get health benefits, but also you feel good. So butternut squash has a lot of good things in it. So vitamin A actually helps you to see in the dark. So it's almost like you have a superpower where you can kind of see in the night. Also, it has potassium. Butternut squash actually has more potassium than a banana. So that already tells you that it has a lot of this good stuff. So put your hand on your heart. So what do you feel there? Your heartbeat, right? So potassium makes sure that your heart is beating at the right pace. So that's really important, obviously, right? And then another thing that it has is a lot of vitamin C. So if you get a little cut or if you get, you fall and you scrape your knee, that helps you to heal up.
Did you try the squash today?
I did try the squash. In fact, I'm eating it right now, and it's absolutely delicious. I might add some maple syrup because I know that our 5th graders are getting some maple syrup out of the trees outside. And wouldn't it be fun to combine the two projects? Put a little, we could bake it in some maple syrup.
I actually thought that squash was hard, but I learned that it's actually pretty soft and that it tastes good.
They taste better than they look. They're a little sweet, and they tasted better with other vegetables and stuff.
Did you enjoy the squash today?
Yes,
What did you like the most?
the rice.
If there was something you could change, what would you change?
Make it more sweeter.
Did you enjoy the squash today?
Yes, I didn't think it would taste good, but I actually loved it.
It's very good. You tried something that you were kind of nervous about, but you tried it and you liked it. That's good. Did you enjoy the squash that you had today?
100%.
So, was it perfect, or was there anything you would like to change about it?
I think I'd like it a little bit more sweeter than it was, but overall it was pretty good.
Did you guys like the squash that you tried?
Yes!
Would you do it again?
Yes!
Thank you to all of our staff and volunteers for making this the fun learning event that it was. Salem Public Schools Food Service is happy to organize and host events that expose students to a variety of healthy foods grown at local farms.